Welcome to Story Planet, where we bring you relaxing tales to help you unwind. Tonight's story is A Candlelit Life, so settle in, get cozy, and let yourself drift into a world of peace and simplicity. Now let's begin. In a quiet corner of the countryside, far from the bustling noise of towns and cities, there stood a humble hut. Made of weathered wood and topped with a thatched roof, the little home nestled among tall trees and rolling fields. This hut was home to a small family: Lena, her husband Caleb, and their young daughter Eliza. Their life was simple, illuminated not by electricity, but by the warm, gentle glow of candlelight. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the family's hut transformed into a haven of peace. Lena would carefully light a single ornate candle that stood proudly on the wooden dining table. The candle had been a gift from Lena's mother, its intricate carvings telling stories of love, resilience, and hope. Its flame brought a soft warmth to the room, casting dancing shadows on the walls and filling the air with a quiet sense of serenity. The family's days began with the songs of birds and the first light of dawn filtering through the small square windows. Caleb would rise early, tending to their modest garden, while Lena prepared a simple breakfast. The aroma of freshly baked bread and herbal tea would waft through the hut, gently waking Eliza, who always greeted the morning with a sleepy smile. Their routine was unhurried, each moment savored like a treasure. Caleb would spend his mornings in the fields, cultivating vegetables and tending to a small flock of chickens. Lena, meanwhile, would sew clothes, prepare meals, or weave baskets to sell at the nearby market. Eliza often played with her handmade dolls, her laughter filling the air as she imagined grand adventures for her tiny companions. When the sun reached its zenith, the family would gather under the shade of a large oak tree near the hut. They would share a simple lunch of fresh bread, cheese, and fruit from their garden. Caleb loved to tell stories about his own childhood, weaving tales that left Eliza wide-eyed with wonder. Lena would smile softly, her heart full, as she watched her family bask in these quiet, precious moments. As the day waned and the golden light of evening bathed the landscape, the family would return to the hut. Lena would light the candle, its flame symbolizing the beginning of their peaceful nights together. They would sit by the flickering glow, sharing stories or singing soft lullabies. Eliza's favorite was a song her grandmother used to sing, a melody that seemed to carry the whispers of the wind and the rustle of the trees. Dinner was always a simple affair, made with love and care. A pot of soup, simmering over the fire, freshly baked bread, and a handful of herbs from their garden were all they needed to feel nourished. The candlelight made their modest meal feel almost magical, its warm glow turning their little table into a place of connection and gratitude. After dinner, Caleb would carve small wooden toys for Eliza or repair tools, while Lena knitted or embroidered by the fire. The gentle rhythm of their work was accompanied by the occasional crackle of the firewood and the soft hum of the evening breeze slipping through the cracks in the walls. Eliza, her eyes heavy with sleep, would often climb into Lena's lap, her tiny fingers tracing the carvings on the candle as she drifted into slumber. On days when the weather allowed, the family would take quiet walks to explore the surrounding countryside. The hills were alive with wildflowers, and Eliza delighted in picking blooms to press between the pages of her sketchbook. Caleb would point out the names of trees and birds, his voice steady and calm, while Lena collected herbs for her kitchen. These walks became a cherished ritual, moments that grounded them in the beauty of their simple life. The changing seasons painted the landscape in ever-shifting hues. Spring brought blossoms and the scent of renewal. Summer bathed the hills in golden light. Autumn adorned the fields with amber and rust, and winter wrapped the world in a blanket of white. Through every season, the family found ways to celebrate, their traditions tied closely to the rhythms of nature. In the spring, Lena would make garlands of flowers to hang around the hut. Caleb would prepare the garden for planting, and Eliza would watch in fascination as tiny seeds were pressed into the soil. By summer, the garden would be a flourishing patch of green, its bounty filling their table with fresh vegetables and herbs. Autumn brought the harvest, and the family worked together to gather what they had grown, their hands busy, but their hearts content. Winters were especially magical. Snow blanketed the hills, muffling the sounds of the world outside. Inside the hut, the candle's glow became even more precious, a source of warmth and comfort against the cold. Caleb would build a roaring fire while Lena prepared mugs of spiced tea. The three of them would huddle together, their conversations soft and filled with dreams of the future. One stormy night, when the wind howled and rain lashed against the windows, the candle's glow became a beacon of reassurance. The family huddled close, listening to the storm rage outside. Eliza, a little frightened, clung to Lena. "It's all right, my love," Lena soothed, holding her close. "The candle's light is here to keep us safe." As they sat together, Caleb began to tell a story about a brave traveler who once crossed the hills during a storm just like this one. His voice was steady and calm, weaving a tale of courage and hope. The story of Finn, the brave traveler. Many years ago, Caleb began, there was a traveler named Finn. He carried little more than a satchel, a sturdy walking stick, and a heart full of determination. Finn was exploring these very hills, drawn by their beauty and serenity. But one fateful evening, as he made his way along a narrow path, the sky darkened, and a storm rolled in with a fury he had never experienced before. The rain fell in heavy sheets, blurring his vision, and the wind roared like a beast, threatening to knock him off his feet. Finn's simple cloak was quickly soaked, and the chill of the storm seeped into his bones. He knew he needed shelter, but the hills offered none. In the distance, he caught sight of a flickering light, a faint golden glow cutting through the darkness. Though the storm made it nearly impossible to move forward, Finn gathered every ounce of strength he had and trudged toward the light, his walking stick sinking into the muddy path with each step. When he finally reached the source of the light, Finn found a small, cozy cottage tucked beneath the ridge of a hill. He knocked on the door, his hand trembling from the cold and exhaustion. An elderly couple answered, their faces kind and welcoming. "Come in," the old man said, stepping aside so Finn could enter. The woman draped a thick blanket over his shoulders and guided him to a seat by the fire. Its warmth seeped into Finn's frozen limbs, chasing away the chill that had gripped him. The couple offered him a steaming bowl of soup and a hunk of fresh bread. As Finn ate, He felt life returning to him, the storm outside fading into the background. The couple listened intently as Finn shared his journey, their eyes filled with compassion. That evening, Finn slept soundly in the warmth of the cottage, the storm's fury a distant memory. When he awoke the next morning, sunlight poured through the small window, illuminating the little home. Finn stepped outside to find the hills glistening with dew, the storm's destruction replaced by nature's quiet beauty. Finn turned to the couple and asked, "How can I ever repay your kindness?" The old man smiled. "Carry the light forward," he said. "Help others as we helped you." Finn carried those words with him as he continued his journey. From that day on, he kept a small lantern in his satchel, lighting the way for others in need. Wherever he went, he became known as the traveler who carried the light, his story inspiring others to show kindness and compassion. Years later, Finn returned to the hills, this time as an old man. He found the same cottage, now empty and quiet, its light extinguished. But Finn smiled, for he knew the couple's legacy lived on in every act of kindness inspired by their light. The storm outside had calmed by the time Caleb finished the story, but inside the little hut, the candlelight glowed even brighter, wrapping the family in warmth and peace. Eliza fell asleep, her fears replaced by dreams of brave travelers and guiding lights. Through storms and seasons, the candle remained a steadfast companion, its light a reminder of all that was good in their world. The family found joy in the small, quiet moments, the scent of freshly baked bread, the rustle of leaves in the wind, the laughter of a child tracing shapes in the frost. Their life, though simple, was filled with abundance in every sense of the word. As the years passed, Eliza grew taller, her curiosity about the world expanding. Yet, no matter how far her dreams took her, she always found her way back to the warmth of the little hut and the glow of the candle that had guided her family through so many peaceful nights. Thank you for joining us on Story Planet. If you felt like you were right there in the warm glow of the candlelit hut, savoring the simplicity of life, consider giving a thumbs up. And if the story brought you peace and calm, feel free to share it with friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe for daily stories from Story Planet, offering serene escapes every day. Wishing you a peaceful night and a relaxed sleep. Sweet dreams.